If you're a heating air conditioning technician or even a salesperson, what do you do when you have to sell against somebody that you've worked with before or knows your presentation? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Silverman, coming to you live from Sacramento, California, on a perfect day to talk about sales and business, and a fantastic day to talk about you. I'm coming to you live for HVAC Technician Sales Secrets. At some point, you are going to work in an organization, work for a team. You're going to have the same coach, same trainer, same process, and you are going to have to sell against somebody that knows your process, somebody that knows what you're going to do. And so I have these things called bear traps that are meant to cause problems for the person that's selling against you, especially if you know what they're going to say and what they're going to do. You have to have your own version of bear traps back. And so let's say that I'm selling against you, and I know that you're going to come out. I'm going to tell you everything. I'm going to tell the homeowner everything that you're going to say. I'm going to tell you why it's wrong. Okay. Now, let's say that happens to you. And then you go out. They say, hey, Scott was out here in front of me. Oh, yeah, I know Scott. Let me guess. He told you X, Y, and Z. Steal it right back. Steal it right back. And then say, hey, you want to know why he said that? Want to know why he went down this path? Want to know why that he did what he did? And you're not really slinging mud because you don't need to. But what this is you're setting frames. It's frame control. And if you're like, hey, Scott, what's a good book on frame control? There's this dude named Orrin Clough who wrote a book called Pitch Anything. Chapter 4 is all about frame control and making sure that you're controlling the narrative. That's another way of saying it. What you're doing is you're stealing the frame. And then if they come and said, hey, Scott was out here, now you got to take that frame back. Now you got to deal with it. Now, inevitably, here's what's going to happen. If the person is a low dollar salesperson, if the person can't close their way out of a wet paper bag, if the person has got some issues, then what they're going to do is they're going to say things like, well, we do all the same things, but we do it for less. Okay. We do things cheaper. We do things for less. Right? You really want to brag about that? That's the thing that you want to be known for? That's the thing that we're cheaper than everybody in town? I really have a tough time with that because it's not true. Now, here's the thing. If you want to be better at sales, you want to be good at what you do, you should absolutely join my email publication, hvactechsecrets.com. I'll give you the goods, not in the Facebook group, not the YouTube channel. Okay? So I would say, hey, dude, chick, if you're watching this and it was true that things were better for less somewhere else, tell me where that's true. Right? So there's got to be shortcuts taken somewhere. I'm going to give you a grocery store example. When I was growing up as a kid, there was a grocery store here in town in Sacramento that advertised, we're cheaper because you don't have to pay for the person to bag your groceries. Okay? And so that was their claim to fame. You don't have to pay for somebody to bag their groceries. Well, you're just saying I'm taking away a service. And so a lot of times, and I'm not knocking anybody because everybody's got to start somewhere. A lot of the times, if a smaller company is going to say, hey, we're cheaper and we perform better, my question is, what are they taking out? Is it service? Is it parts and pieces? Is it coaching and training? There's a cost for everything. And so you really just have to slow things down and have the conversation and say, I can't think of anywhere that by you taking money out, things get better. I can't. There's a penalty for everything for not paying. If you don't pay, there's a tax. If you don't pay, there's a penalty. And you have to be able to convey this. In some examples, is this true? I'm sure there is. On a Wednesday on a full moon, stubbing your toe, getting out of bed, there's probably one or two examples. And it's okay if you disagree with me, right? I don't have a problem with that. I am not magnanimous knowing everything there is to know to man, but being around the industries as long as I have and looking around, there's a point where you got to say, hey, I don't know of any company that can keep that up in the long run. Today, they might be able to. Sure. 6 months from now? Probably not. A year from now? Probably not. I've worked at really big companies, huge companies, and I've worked at really small companies. And at the real small companies, everything was on a shoestring. Everything was on a budget. Everything was we can't do that right now because it's not in the money. We can't get out there. We can't send a technician out there because we don't have enough people. We can't send a technician out there because we don't have a van. We can't send somebody out there to go fix it because we're past our credit limit. I've lived through this in different organizations, different companies. I'm going to tell you, it's uncomfortable. Hey, sorry, homeowner. I know as a salesperson, I promised you everything was going to be awesome and we could do it for less and we were the same. But in this instance, can't necessarily do it. Are there some good low dollar companies out there? Yeah, there are. But like, it's few and far between. It's not the norm. It is not the way that you look at the industry and go, oh, that's normal. Being in business, and especially in California, is freaking expensive. You know, you start looking and you sit down with a business owner and they go through the books with you. They're like, I didn't know that fee was there. I didn't know that charge was there. I didn't know that this was there. I didn't know that that was there. And like, you'll get eaten alive in just minuscule fees. It's like, where did that come from? So if somebody comes in and they're going to steal your thunder and they're going to say, we're going to do it cheaper for less, probably not true. Probably not true. Just be really calm about it. Say, where is that true in life? I can't think of anywhere where someone comes in and says, hey, we're cheaper and better. Maybe today. But for the long run, not going to happen. You got 1 of 3 things to do from here. Just 1 of 3. Find the subscribe button, click on it, and every time I send another video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.